so much
What's
better.
going on?
Yeah, there it is. This has been Chase and I.
I hope you guys like this.
All right. Let's keep the show up and running.
Hey,
before we
I
get
will give a
copyrighted.
huge shout out to anybody who can name what movie that song is from.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I feel like it's about to come in the next 5 seconds.
I feel like somebody's probably going to shout out pretty quick, but if you,
there's no prize.
See, Christian or
yeah, that's the name of the song. But what is it from? What is it most known for? What movie?
Yes.
Boom. There you go, Curtis. Thanks. Told you it was only a matter of seconds.
That was quick.
But that gets you pumped.
That is a good song.
You know what else gets me pumped is Daytona. Round 8, people. This is Daytona prep show for. We're gonna help you make your picks. Jeez,
all you have to know about Daytona is 6 out of 7.
You're referring to Tomac.
That is Tomac's record at Daytona.
Well, wow, we're gonna be going back and forth because I got the number 2 Cooper Webb.
Are you serious?
Yeah, and we're gonna back it up.
I mean, he's been pretty solid in Daytona.
Did you watch last year all the way up until about 30 seconds left? He led almost wire to wire. And it was thanks to Shane McElrath that it did get handed over
on the Rocky Mountain team. Yep. All right, let's go Shane.
We have the clips here. I mean, I don't know if you want to hop into it right now, but we can reminisce and get a little nostalgic. We got last year's replays.
I like that.
I think it'll be good for us to kind of see how gnarly.
Just remember what happened.
Yeah, we know how crazy Daytona is, but to see those lines, it's a rough track. So
Tomac's
we'll watch that later.
2 kind of like.
We're now.
There it is. Okay, yes.
I'm all about it.
Tomac has had a couple wins that were like kind of down to the wire. Remember when he passed Kenny? Very end of the race? I think that was 2 or 3 years ago.
No, he's been fortunate. No doubt that this is his stomping grounds.
You remember when he won it his last year on Cowie? He got the whole shot because Webb pushed Roczen wide on purpose.
Because that's what the focus was Webb, Roczen, and Tomac. Yeah, anyway.
And it gave
Tomac
the whole shot.
Do you remember these two? I'm so bummed that Mookie.
What was it, Atlanta? That Anderson
the weekend before, he cleaned out Mookie, and then this happens.
Mookie did that.
I remember last year how pumped I was because I had my picks solid into that first corner, and then these two did this. And
people tried to say how, Lions came together. It's like, nope, that was retribution right there.
Krista says, no way, Kobe. Tomac is going to get it, especially after his week last.
That's what I'm talking about.
Fair enough. Like, dude, as far as like my heart, I want to go with Tomac, and it could change. If we come qualifying and Tomac's just stomping and he tops qualifying, very well, I will probably put Tomac up first. But up until that happens, if it happens, I'm putting Webb to win.
Well, look, we got a special guest caller that's going to call in today. Not going to be able to zoom in, but we're going to get on the phone. Jimmy D, the RIPPA.
The
RIPPA Jimmy D is calling in. And I want to get, I think he's in Daytona.
Currently.
I just want to get his thoughts.
Though.
No.
But, I mean,
I want to get.
If you don't know him, you will after this.
If you want to get excited and have tingles inside, go watch Jimmy on his Instagram.
125.
Watch him just shredding.
Any bike, he is a ripper, but on the 125 or just a 2-stroke specifically, he is top of the line.
Tomac was holding his arm after his crash? I don't know.
Are you referring to last weekend he was holding his arm?
I don't know. That's what Leadhead said.
Let's get this vote. Will Tomac get the W in Daytona? I already know what the results of that are.
Well, look, no, okay, yeah.
You got T-minus 19 votes, by the way, Levi.
But here's the deal, though. Going into Daytona, I don't think any of the riders would rather beat Tomac anywhere else than on Daytona. Like, you want to be the guy that said, enough is enough. Mm-hmm. I want to win a Daytona.
Well, I agree. And also, isn't it true that I think a great amount or a lot of our champions, the points leader after Daytona usually wins the championship.
Yeah, not the winner of, but the points leader after Daytona. Mm-hmm. But isn't Daytona usually like round 10?
9 or 10.
I feel last year this year.
It was 9.
Okay.
So that's a good point.
It's a little early.
It still could be a little early.
I mean, dude, we're only 7 rounds in. I feel like this has been going on for a long time.
Yeah. Round 8, though. Let's go over our prizes real quick before we get too deep. What's up for grabs this weekend at one of the most anticipated races of the Supercross season. So weekly, we've got 7 coming in first, FXR in second. Rounding out that podium is Fastway. I'm getting so tongue-tied. I'm just so pumped for this.
You're too excited, dude. You're too excited.
Bridgestone, Fastco, and Fox. We got Motul and Fly and some Scott Prospect goggles. We've kind of... You can't go wrong. Like, I love those goggles. I've ran them for years in a Cherby spending spree. Get yourself a nice, fresh set of plastics there in 10th. And Let's go over these grand prizes.
Yeah, where are we at? Real quick, let's see who's on top of the leaderboard right now.
You mean overall?
Punky08 has 496 points.
And I believe at least over the last 3 weeks, Punky has been up there. I think Punky's been up there all year. You'd have to be.
I have 320. I don't feel terrible.
And this is your best season in the past, probably.
Is it? I haven't looked back at
me
last
knowing
year.
you, I swear this is your best fantasy season so far. And can you believe you were 180 points down from the leader?
I know.
It's
I had
unbelievable.
90-something points last week, or 2 weeks ago, I got 50-something points the last round. So I just got to keep it. I'm catching you. Is the important part
I have
here.
no room to speak. 328.
Okay.
I'm barely leading you, but it's
wait, 8 points is all?
Our fantasy season is just about as close as this title hunt.
I like that. All right, and then grand prizes. Throw them up there real quick, Levi. You guys have seen them. You can also see these on the fantasy website at any time.
Of course.
But we got 3 dirt bikes we're giving away from KTM. Shout out to those guys. Stasic, Rocky Mountain, Alpine Star, Motion Pro, Fly, Oakley, Milestone Video Game, Console, 4K TV. You get all the goodies. So a lot up for grabs right now. Plus, we do those 90 Rocky Mountain gift cards.
Yep, always. Nate says those are good burner accounts. What do you mean by that? You think Chase and I are leading and those are our burner accounts or something? I'm confused. I can promise you that is not us topping those.
Tornado says he needs that 450. Yeah, the link to the Discord's in the description. That's where we have all the memes going on. And hey, Race Day Live. So I was talking to Dan Hubbard
to give you guys some motivation.
Yeah, they're gonna showcase some of our favorite memes that we're gonna send over to them. So you have the chance to have your memes
on Race Day
showing
Live.
up on Race Day Live.
Yeah, watch it on the big screen.
And Justin Brayton and Dan are gonna be in the booth this week,
reacting to them. We'll probably have them pick their favorite. So
and Haley, if you're watching, listening, don't worry. We've been chit chatting back and forth. We're getting her all set up. But all right, okay, we went over prizes here. Injuries. Marv is still out.
Yeah,
Malcolm,
some changes there.
I didn't think Joey Savacci was racing, but he is.
Neither did I. We checked the entry list. Savacci's on there. AC is technically on there. This is where it gets confusing. We'll just have to see come qualifying who's there. But AC is even on the entry list. I believe he's out. I don't think he's racing this weekend.
Well, him and Ferrandis are on there, but they both have the little medical sign extra. I don't know what the medical sign means. If it's they're tentative,
we've been hearing for the past few weeks that Ferrandis was supposed to make his return here at Daytona. So they're both on the entry list. If I had to guess, I don't think AC is going to be racing. I would hope that Ferrandis is back on the bike at this point. So we'll just have to see come qualifying. We do have stats on the both of them if they do end up.
And then Savacci, I mean, I would imagine he's going to be there because isn't the sponsor he's riding for a Daytona or a NASCAR team? Rick Ware Racing?
Oh,
Rick Ware.
I think
like
so.
a WWE name.
But that would make sense. But Savacci, I hope he's racing because when we get to our wild card, which is probably what most people should be concerned about as far as where our data comes in, Savacci is a top pick for our wild card this week. They're in 10th.
All right, track trends. Levi.
So pumped.
I mean, is this your favorite race of the year?
Absolutely, without a doubt. And you might be able to sympathize with me here. I think overall I do just prefer outdoors, period.
Well, it's because it's what we ride, right?
So it's more relatable.
Yeah.
I just think they're somewhat, it's less finesse. Well, if you ask me, it's just as much finesse, but okay, that's a whole other conversation. I love outdoors.
It's
obviously
just the high
speedway,
speed. They've got the camera that follows them down some of the
so unique
straightaways.
in that way, and it just gets brutal. It just gets torn apart. It just tests these guys.
It's just
to their limits. And I do have to admit that at first glance, and we'll see with the recap clips that we ended up pulling from last year, that this track does share quite a bit of the same kind of layout as last year, but I can't complain.
The only spot that I'm seeing that I'm just like, is I'm not a fan of when you go 180 turn. Okay, so like right before the sand section, right? You've got a 180, and then immediately after a short straight, you have another 180. Because riders are just going to go inside,
it's single
inside.
line. I'm glad you bring that up.
Yep. And then there's another
one-lined.
After you go out of the sand, riders are going to go into that corner. And I don't know exactly how they're going to jump into there, but they're going to go inside. Because if you can make that double right before you go into that really dark soil from the inside, nobody's going to go to the outside.
No, I agree. And we'll see that. I think that's why Tomac struggled so bad. He needed McElrath's assistance to actually seal the deal last year. And you wouldn't think it at first. And let's hear it in the chat if you think otherwise. But I actually don't think Daytona is the best passing track. It's really high speed. And like to your point, I just think it's fairly one-lined, especially in those sand sections.
It has been, it seems like, a little bit.
I think where passes do get done is just the difference in skill level or just speed. Yeah. Some guys just excel there so much, like Tomac.
Because we've seen some of the sand sections where it might be one line, but guys just make mistakes in it. If it's that type of sand, right?
Yeah, where it's just purely technical.
Yeah, and there's a split lane. I like the split lanes just because the two guys go in at the same time, and you're like, who's going to come out? Whatever. So I don't know. I've always liked Daytona. I don't know. Comment below. Do you guys like Daytona?
I didn't check the weather, but Zach here says he checked the chance of rain, and it's like 25% or less, which is good. I'd prefer it to just be normal weather. Florida can always get spicy. But
Nate said, don't try and find something wrong with the Goats track. I'm not trying. I'm just pointing out observations.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. Well, look.
Should we wait until we get to some stats? Should we watch these clips from last year?
Yeah, let's do it.
Get us a little bit of an idea of what we can expect. So let's go to the start. We started with it earlier. You might have seen Watch Heartraf 41 if you guys can see this.
Where is
He's kicking his bike on the left side moments before.
RM Army.
Yep, I remember. Hopefully we don't see Kenny doing
Kickstart
that.
Kenny.
So
did you see Anderson's jump? But Webb still got it.
Yeah, Webb gets it. And Tomac's right there. And basically this is where they remember in this first corner though.
Can you believe
Watch Anderson just push.
Oh yeah. And that
Tomac
pissed Malcolm.
Yeah.
Do you think Malcolm takes him out if he doesn't do that in that first turn?
It's hard.
Do you think that was just like, because, dude, they're running second and third.
There's no reason
if you're
to
Malcolm,
do this.
you're like, dude, why would you do that?
I don't think it was so much even that first turn. I think it was what had happened the weekend before
100%.
Because he got cleaned out, and it just didn't help.
But it's like, do that if you're mid-pack. Yep. Don't do it when you're hurting. You're second.
You guys are hurting each other. And the reason that I left this in there and wanted to show that is that Anderson's finding himself in these same kind of situations this year. So I saw a few comments as far as Anderson to win this, that, but I just have a feeling he's going to find himself doing the same crap here at Daytona.
What we thought he had learned a lesson from last year, it seems like he didn't learn a thing.
Yeah.
Because he's doing it all over again this year. The whole Barsha shenanigans, and I don't know, man.
Ando did nothing wrong. He passed them 3 wide. I'm assuming you're referring to that corner after the start, which I agree. But what Mookie did was dangerous, and
it was. That's not why Mookie took him out there. No. It was stemming from the week before when Anderson
had a very similar
fully clean
T-bone.
Took him out.
Which I should have pulled that up too, just to give some more context. But regardless, I think the real conversation is more so about Webb and Tomac, and you could bring Sexton into this too. I want to hear that in the chat after this current poll. If somebody, and I want to ask the Ripper this. If somebody is going to dethrone Tomac this year, is it Webb or is it Sexton? My vote is Webb. But I bet you a lot of people.
Let's get the man on the phone.
Okay, call him up.
Let's give the people what they want. Hold on here.
Jimmy
Levi,
D?
are you all set up, dude? Am I still connected to you?
I believe so.
Should be, yeah.
Okay. Jimmy Decotis.
Maybe Carmackerel can...
Carmackerel?
Yeah. I was worried about finishing that comment at risk of it turning into something not safe for work.
The phone is ringing.
That's spelling.
Almost.
Come on, Baba Daga. Got some tribal viewers here.
Jimmy D, do we got you?
What's going on, guys? Can you hear me good?
Up? Yeah, we can hear you great.
The phone didn't ring. All of a sudden, my phone said you were on. I was like, oh, Jimmy's there.
Smooth connection.
Yeah, I'm here.
Dude, how you been? You're in Daytona right now.
I'm in Daytona. I'm looking at the Speedway on my hotel right now.
Wow.
So you just took you and the wifey to go out for a little vacation?
Well, kind of. I mean, we're making it a vacation. She works for Star. She's a PR coordinator for the team.
Oh,
so
okay.
We go to every round.
Hey,
and
I could use her help getting a few riders to call into this show. I'll tell you what.
Ferrandis
and Tomac are hard ones to track down.
Right now. They're very hard to track down.
Oh, yeah. We want those guys going.
We've been going to all the rounds. I've been actually helping the team too. They're doing a VIP program this year.
Okay.
So I'm in charge of all the VIPs every weekend. So I've actually been going to every race also. But this weekend it's not a Feld event, so they're not doing the VIP experience. So I got a little weekend off.
Nice.
Well, and what a weekend to have it off at Daytona. That
so
sounds
I'm going to go ride. We're going to ride tomorrow.
When you say ride not on the track, you're referring to something else.
Not Daytona. I'm just going to go ride at like a local track in Daytona. PAX track, like 20 minutes from here.
Awesome.
But we're going to go there tomorrow and ride, and then Saturday I'm just going to kind of hang out at the race. I think I'm going to go golf, and then come back and watch the night show. I've been at the races every weekend, so
okay.
I don't think I'm going to sit at the races when I'm not working all day.
Oh, fair enough. And I want to get your insight, especially if you've been there every single weekend, on some of the mentalities of these top riders. But before that, even talk to me about your riding, Jimmy. I mean, I saw you teamed up with Trail Jesters. Is that strict? Are you racing for them, or are you just riding and just giving them some exposure?
No, I'm helping the team a little bit, but mostly I'm planning on doing about probably 10 local races and then 5 bigger events this year. The only one I have announced is Southwick National I'll be doing this year.
Awesome.
It's more of just that I'm actually healthy again.
Yeah.
I don't ever want to come back full time, make this my job again.
Okay.
I don't ever want to do that and be a professional racer again, but I do want to race Southwick and then maybe a couple other races down the road that I haven't announced yet. Just to kind of, the way I went out at Daytona in 2020 with my Lyme disease and how sick I was, it was really bad for me, and it was a tough time. And, I just feel like for me to kind of give back to my fans and myself and kind of go out on my terms is something that I've been wanting to do. And, me and my wife, Jamie, we have a touch-up paint business we do. So we've been extremely busy and doing 2 different jobs and trying to balance everything. So I'm just kind of having fun with it. I don't have any expectations, but I just want to do a couple little things this year for racing and nothing serious, but obviously I want to do my best that I can while I'm balancing all these different tasks. So yeah, I'm really excited for it.
I'd love to hear that. I remember you.
The only one confirmed right now, but I'm going to do another race, a pretty big race.
Fair enough.
Him and Robbie Marshall, dude, the freaking king of Southwick.
Maybe get Marshall to come back out.
Hey, so that is so good to hear.
Between me and him, the differences between me and him is I have to actually train to do good stuff.
Dude, I just.
Dude, he has so much talent. He can just come off the couch and probably get a top 15 right now, working every day.
Wow.
Doing a night shift job. He's that incredible, dude. That kid's so talented.
That's awesome.
Respect.
Yeah, you're from the Massachusetts, like that area, right?
Yep, absolutely.
Okay.
That's my local spot.
Well,
so that's why I'm kind of doing Southwick just as a local race and
very cool.
Have the fans cheer me on and get to
and they will
kind of race my local national again one last time.
Dude, that's awesome.
I'm glad to hear your health is good too. Exactly. That's what I was going to get into, Jimmy. And if you don't want to touch on it too much, that's okay. I have quite a few friends that have been battling Lyme disease that are riders and racers, and it has just always blown me away at how tough they are, because I know how draining, being so close to them, how draining it is. And if you want to touch on that battle a little bit.
Can you get Lyme disease other than a tick?
Yeah, there's a long road we could go down. Big rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Okay.
But no, I actually, for me, I'm very thankful I stopped racing, because I actually found, technically, I consider it the cure to Lyme. Every time I test, I'm negative now. Wow. All my numbers are negative, and I have no Lyme disease symptoms at all anymore. And I did an SOT. You actually should have those people reach out to me.
Okay.
Because there's an SOT treatment they do. They do it all over the country, but it's from Greece. And they really, like, the main center in America that started doing it was in Georgia. And when I retired, I put on my social media, hey, I'm done. I can't do this anymore. I've tried everything. Mm-hmm. Anyone has anything, like, I just basically said for personal health, because my, like, neurological symptoms were getting bad. And I knew, I was like, man, I was only 28 at the time. I'm like, if I don't figure this out and I just manage the Lyme and try to live with it forever, I was like, I'm going to have neurological symptoms at a very young age, and this is not going to be good. So I kind of went all in when I learned about the SOT treatment, because it actually gets rid of the bacteria out of your body. So once I figured that out, I was like, okay, I went all in, and it actually we did testing through the whole process, and I actually got rid of it now. So I've been trying to get people now to actually do it, because especially in New England, there's a lot of people that are struggling with this, and they just bust it off as, it's nothing. I'm just tired. It's like, no, you have something going on in your body.
Wow.
Interesting.
Well, that's incredible to hear. And I'm glad that you're promoting it and trying to help others. That's why I wanted to bring that up. So thank you so much. I'll definitely pursue that more.
That's part of why I'm racing too is because I want to show people like, hey, look, I'm healthy enough to do this. This is, I'm able to do this fun while working a full-time job, while going to the races on the weekend. It's like, I couldn't even do this before not doing any of that. Never mind just I tried to go for a road bike ride for an hour, and it was like, just to turn the pedals was like, I feel like I had 1,000 pounds on my back. So it's like, it's just, it's amazing. Like, even when I'm tired training now, I'm like, oh, this is just normal tires. Like, I can get through this. It's like, so it's just cool. And that's why I really want to race. I want to, I love to race. That's all I've done my whole life is race dirt bikes.
Well, congratulations. That is amazing to hear. Super pumped to see you at Southwick. And I will just say, I know that tie to Trail Jesters, I hope that maybe a couple off-road ones are in there. That's more my...
So I really wanted to do a GNCC, but I don't know yet. That's just...
Sure.
Kobe and I are trying to weasel our way over there.
3-hour race.
Oh, it's insanity. Those guys are no joke.
How about Baylor just dad bod central taking the first win?
It's incredible. We were talking about that last week. I'm like, how does he do it? It's like, it's incredible. I mean, you got
only him
guys that are shredded and in shape, and they get tired, and he doesn't. Like, I don't get it.
It's got to be like hard for those guys.
Like
who just
those guys?
He's like Marshall. Yeah, it's just gifted. Wow. Awesome.
Jimmy, I got a question.
But if you take those guys and you give them a pull structure, they usually they can't do it. They're like, this doesn't work for me.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, no.
Some guys that do it different, but I don't know what Stu's program is, if he does train or how he does it all.
Stuart's program is, because we had our boss was actually at the Big Buck. His program did the track walk the day before and was one of the last dudes out there. Like, he's out there all day and night studying the track. Goes back to his pit, sits by a campfire, and just starts drinking Busch Lights. That is his program.
And he's probably the only guy that's getting away with that.
He loves it. He's happy. He's in his own place. Like, when you're mentally, if you know that, hey, drinking these 5 beers isn't going to affect me tomorrow, you're fine. But if you're drinking those 5 beers and you're thinking, hey, there's a little doubt, the guy next to me is not drinking these beers, I have a little doubt about it, then it's like, you're clearly not doing it. And doing it, that's not the right thing to be doing,
Yep. But he's
just,
calm,
you have
collected.
to do what works for you. Yep. He knows what works for him.
Absolutely.
It's incredible. Jimmy, here's a question.
Yep.
What is more surprising thus far in this season? That Anderson only has 2 podiums in 7 races, or that Webb has only led 10 laps to Tomac's 83, and he's only 2 points down in the championship?
I think the Anderson thing. I've been, Anderson coming in, I thought he would be incredible this year. I mean, he won, 7 or 8 races last year?
Him and Tomac both won 7.
Yeah.
7. So that's a lot of races to win. And he was pretty dominant. Like, it was him and Eli last year, and then Chase would throw in that raw speed, and Coop was just not himself, really. But I don't know, man. I knew it would be closer. I just didn't know that it would be Coop in there with how much better he's progressed and done this year. And yeah, I knew Eli would be in it, but I knew it would be harder for him this year because of the fact that it's harder to defend every single time. Last year it was new team, everything was new, good vibes, everything was smooth. Now there's a little expectation. What happened last year was incredible. What he did, he won pretty much everything you could win. And I just feel like that second year it gets harder. I mean, they all say it's harder to defend. I've never been in that position on their level before, but to defend something is harder than, hey, I'm just coming in, something new and fresh and fun. And it's been really light over there under the semi. It's actually been super cool.
Do you feel like Tomac in years past, even last year, he was just the fastest guy, right? Now with outdoors, I think the outdoor season with Sexton gave him a lot of confidence coming into this year.
Well,
and
Sexton would throw down some lap times to where you're like, okay, Eli's not the raw speed. Like, Sexton did have it too, but I just felt like Eli could do it for 20 minutes where Chase couldn't yet, and now Chase is starting to be able to do that.
Interesting. Yeah, because we're just not seeing the dominant Tomac, but I think other riders like Cooper Webb is just hands down a better rider this year.
Yep.
And then Sexton just stepped it up. But yeah, Anderson's the big question mark. It's like, just, you don't really know. Is he in a funk? Is his mental state? Is he just, I don't know. It's just kind of odd that you win 7 last year and you're 7 rounds deep now and you've, haven't really even sniffed an overall yet.
Yeah, he has. I will say he's had some good rides going that he blew it or crashed or did something stupid. And then the other rides he's had, they were just bad starts. And the field is so deep. At the Triple Crown, he was in the first one. He was so or one of them, he was so far back. It's like you're basically almost out of it with one bad result. And I just feel like he's just had some bad results, but I think he is riding good. Not as well as he was last year, but he's still riding incredible. There's just so many guys out there. Like watching that class, it's like I would want no business being out there.
Hey, is Ferrandis confirmed?
I'm not sure on that.
Oh, okay.
I would imagine so, with it being a little bit outdoorsy. He's had 2 weeks off, but I don't know. It's like he's in concussion protocol, so it's basically, you know how that stuff goes. There's no, hey, we're in or we're out. It's probably he's probably riding today or yesterday and kind of going from there and deciding. So yeah, okay. I wouldn't know that one.
Okay, right. Fair enough.
I would hope he did, because it adds some good depth to the class. And
Oh, no doubt.
He really can do well at this event, so I think it'd actually be super cool.
Staying on the topic,
at the same time, being on the side of the track now, I'm like, take as much time as you guys want, because this stuff goes away eventually, and it's not worth it for one race. You know,
right?
Absolutely.
When it comes to the head, if you got a broken ankle or cracked rib and you want to fight through it, you do it. But when it comes to your brain, you really assess the situation, make sure it's. I mean, he's older in the sport, but he's still young and he's got a long life ahead of him. So to take one race off, and I think that's what he did last week. I'm sure he probably could have even gone last week, but probably did the right thing.
Awesome. Okay. Yeah, fair enough. I totally agree. Sticking on going back to, I guess, those top three though. First I'd like to hear who you've got your money on for this weekend. Is it Tomac? But if it wasn't, if somebody's going to dethrone Tomac on his Daytona streak, do you put your money on Sexton or Webb?
I actually put it on Webb. Just looking at past results, Webb has a lot of twos here.
He does.
Definitely.
3 or 4, I think. Maybe 4 in the 450 class. So I know he wants it bad.
I almost had it last year.
Yeah, I think it's either, to me, this is a good race for Eli to get back on track. He's had a couple tough weekends, we can say. He's not up to his expectations, right? Last 3 weekends. So I feel like this is a round where he's thinking, he's probably super motivated. He's not thinking about, I got to win how many in a row. He's just thinking, get this season back on track, win this race. So I still think Eli is the favorite, but I think if anyone's going to do it, it's Coop, and he's going to beat them with just pure grit and not raw speed, because that kid is he's such a racer, man. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, he has not finished off the podium in 5 trips to Daytona.
Yeah.
And he probably should have won it last year.
Yep.
So he hasn't won it before, though, right?
No,
I don't think so.
Tomac's won 6 out of 7. Brayton was the only one to spoil it. Nobody lining up this weekend other than Eli Tomac has won Daytona on a 450.
That's incredible.
Wow.
That's crazy to hear.
Yeah, so it's hard to go against Eli, because I know he's trying. It's like time to get it back on track. This is a good race. It's going to be good. I'm very thankful I get to watch this stuff every weekend, because a lot of these guys are a little bit older in their career, and they're not going to be doing it for much longer. So it's cool to be able to watch it, experience it.
Do you think Tomac signed up for outdoors and for the Super Motocross because there's just a check that's dangling too low right now? I mean,
I don't think so. I think he's racing because he wants to. If he felt like he didn't want to race, you could pay him. That money could be $10 million. If he's like, I don't want to be out there, he's not going to be out there. I don't think it's about the money for him at this point. He's done it for so long. He's made so much money. It's like he's doing it because he likes the bike. He likes the team. He's comfortable. He's happy. He's enjoying it with his kids, his wife, his family.
Yeah.
He's got Johnny T's been his trainer for his whole career. So I think he's just kind of savoring all of it and just enjoying it. And then the end of the year, the money's a big bonus for sure. I think the part that you have to do the SMX you have to do outdoors to win the playoff, I think is playing into it a little bit. I think if it wasn't about that, maybe they would just do the playoffs if you could. That's what I would do, not have to do the entire outdoors, that however long he's done it for now, but he is committing to it. So I think it's super cool.
No, I do. I wonder, honestly, my opinion, I'm curious at your take on this. I think I think a lot of people think Sexton's probably bummed that Tomac announced he's doing outdoors, but I think Sexton wants to dethrone the king. Yeah, I think Sexton's probably happy, thank you, because I don't want to win an outdoor title and then have people say because, exactly.
Yep.
So I think Sexton's like, hell yeah, let's go do this again.
Well,
these guys all are. They're gamers. They want to beat each other, man. They're friendly and nice, and you've seen it at MXON. Chase and Eli were super cool. They had an awesome weekend, but now it's like these guys all want to beat each other, dude. You see it every time.
Okay.
And I'm sure Tomac, a little part of him, there's all this talk of Jet and him just moving up to 450s, and he's just going to roll over, steamroll everybody. And I'm sure Tomac's, he's got a chip on his shoulder wanting to just
It's the learning curve,
himself.
bro. Like, I know Jet's good. I mean, Jimmy, if you saw my rant last week, I'm pretty up to, like, my eyes in Jet Lawrence by now. But not taking anything away from him, but just, like, let's focus on maybe something else. But anyway, there's a learning curve.
No, I understand that.
Mm-hmm. Look at any
He's the star of the sport. It's tough not to.
Oh,
yeah,
I agree.
Sure.
I agree. It's just I just think that Jet coming in the 450 class, if you look historically, every time we've ever had a 250 guy move up, we're like, oh my gosh, he could do it. He could do it. It always takes a couple years to figure the 450 class out.
Yep.
Yeah, I will. And the one thing I look at is MXON, how good he rode it. But we've seen Webb do the same thing when he moved up and he had no pressure and it was just first time on the 450. Let's go have fun. He rode the thing incredible too. And then the next year, full-time 450, he kind of struggled on it in his rookie year. So I think once Jet is a full-time 450 guy, it will be a little bit harder for him.
Okay.
He's going to have faster guys. He's not going to be able to check out like he does and ride it up front. It's going to be good. But I will say from what I've seen from him is he's going to be composed and he's going to do just fine. Yeah. He knows what he's doing.
He is good. He is a very good rider. Dude, Hunter, though. Hunter's not getting the credit he deserves, too. Like, he is.
What's funny, yeah, Hunter's incredible, too. It's like, what's funny is when I was racing and, like, they were coming up, they got signed by Geico, like, 15 or something, like, super young. And I'm like, nah, they're not as good as everyone says they are. And then I seen him one day at the test track. I'm like, oh, boy, he's better than I thought. He was just doing like 20s out there later in the day, bone dry. No, dude, doing the same times he was in the morning. And my Keith was the mechanic, he was Hunter's mechanic at the time, and we were like looking at Jet like, wow, this is incredible.
All right, hey, well, last question since you're on a little vacation here. We're not going to take too much time here. Kobe had a good question written down that I want to ask that he hasn't yet. He put, give us your definition of the difference between rubbing his racing and crossing the line with just aggressive riding. Just because it's been kind of a subject. Let's hear your thoughts.
All right, I'll give you one. Eli and Chase, what have you seen out of them in the last 2 years of this like little rivalry?
I don't think they've ever touched paint once.
Super respectful.
If they have, it was an accident.
They hold each other up in the turns. They block each other. They do certain things, but it's never to slow the race up. It's always, I'm making the pass. Tomac gets in, learns Chase's stuff, or Chase gets in. Like, they have a respect. And like with certain other guys, like Bam Bam, he doesn't have that respect. He'll just do whatever it takes to win, because in his mind, he's like, I'm paid to win. I'll do whatever it takes. So like, I think there's a point where it's fine, but you just have to, everybody wants it to be like Eli and Chase where they're comfortable riding with each other. They're all like that. So nobody wants the Bam Bam behind you. No one in the industry wants Bam Bam behind you, because he'll just run it in. He'll do whatever it takes. So like, as a business person, you want a Bam Bam on your team because he's going to do whatever it takes to win. But as a competitor, you're like, God damn, get this guy away from me. Like, because he'll just slow the whole race up to pass you. He'll do whatever it takes, And we're like, some of these other guys, they race, and like, I feel like that's rubbing is racing, because they're like, they'll rub a little bit, but they're moving forward. They're moving to the pack, where sometimes Bam Bam and Ando will just cream each other. And it's like, that's just unnecessary.
Okay.
But I love that.
From someone who used to race, these guys have been racing each other for 10 years, dude. They hate each other. Like, they've been going at it for years. So like, when you get stuffed by one of these guys, or one of these guys passes and you're on a bad night, it's like you're seeing red. So like, I understand it. It's just, there's a fine line, and some guys cross it, and I've crossed it before. We all have as racers. It's just who does it often and who has that reputation, and you can kind of see it when there's always instances like who's involved, and you'll always see the same names.
Okay.
I guess the new question there is just if it's necessary, and you answered that though. And Tomac and Sexton have proved that that's not necessary.
You can force the issue without forcing your swing arm into theirs.
Oh, they do big time, but they don't do it dirty at all.
Yep.
Okay.
So I love that. Great answer.
I like it.
That's been a huge topic for us, and people, honestly, our viewers are probably sick of us even bringing Bam Bam up. But we got to have him there, though. It's fun to watch, regardless.
It's weird. People love him or they hate him.
Yep.
It is, and he's who he is. So like, I don't know. Bam Bam, when I raced him, it always bugged me because I had to look over my shoulder the entire time. You're just like, this kid's gonna take me out at any time. But as someone like as a racer too, you're like, man, that kid will do anything to win. Like, you have to respect it a little bit.
Okay.
For sure.
Well, Jimmy, hey, last question, man. You're going to Vegas. You're putting your money down on a podium this weekend. Who's it going to be right now?
It's going to be well, I'm not saying any order, but it's going to be Tomac, Webb, Plessinger is going to be on the podium. Those are my three.
Okay.
And AP is going to be, he's been the Daytona guy. He's been on fire, and now he's coming into this race. He's going to be third or second, right in the mix. And then I think it's between Eli and Coop on who can seal the deal here at this race. And just depends on who survives, how rough the track gets, and kind of who mentally goes till the end, because I feel like it's kind of in anyone's court. And don't get me wrong, Chase could win this thing.
Sure.
Get a whole shot and win by 8 seconds. Like, it's just, he's that talented to do it. But I just think right now it's a Webb, Eli, and AP podium.
Okay.
I'm not sure in what order though.
I like it.
And then I'll say fourth and fifth will be Sexton and Ando.
Okay, fair enough.
Fair enough. All right, well, Jimmy, hey, we appreciate you taking the time to do this even while you're out traveling. Yeah. Thank you so much. Always a fan favorite.
It's always good to talk to you guys. So,
so glad to hear you're healthy again. Again, I appreciate so much all the information that you were giving us. I will definitely be reaching out and pursuing that more for those buddies. And literally anybody listening, that's so good to hear for the sport, because I know it's more common than people probably think. So
it is more common. A lot of people go down the antibiotics route, and it's just, there's a lot of different treatments that don't heal you or get rid of it, and it just manages it and doesn't eventually help you down the end of the road, because eventually your immune system is going to get compromised and all your symptoms are going to flare back out. So if anyone needs to, they can always reach out to me on any of my social medias. My email's right on my Instagram. People need to, and I can always send them the link to anything Lyme, autoimmune condition related, if they ever have any questions.
Perfect. All right. Thank you so much.
Tell the wifey, though, like, for real, if she's got a little wait for Tomac or Ferrandis, those guys are calling to the show. I'll be ready for them.
Yeah, dude, good luck. I'll tell you that right now.
We'll take the luck. We need it.
All right, man. Well, hey, we appreciate you.
I'm sure you will be able to get one of them guys.
We'll keep chipping away.
It is harder. I feel like 250 guys are always easier.
Yeah, for sure.
Because they're younger. They want the opportunity to be on the show and be out there, where some of these guys who've been in it for a while, they're like, I just want to win and go home, you know?
Fair enough. Yeah, I understand that too. So thanks again, Jimmy. Yeah, enjoy the races.
So we'll keep in touch too. So
perfect.
All right, brother, man. Hey, have a good time this weekend, and best of luck with everything you got going on.
Yeah, thank you. I'm really excited for it. So
awesome.
Have a good one, guys.
Okay, we'll see ya.
That was great.
That was good.
Okay. It's still in your head?
Yeah. All right, let's get back into it here. Okay.
AP up there.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. AP's done pretty good there. But look.
Betting in Vegas, he's got AP on his podium.
All right, we're going to have to fly. Oh, dude. Where's our number plates, bro?
Oh, that's a good question. We're going to have our producer, man.
Oh, somebody organized our studio and put him somewhere.
If anybody's watching in our office, please, if you see him out there, bring him in. But regardless.
Look, Tomac's won 6 out of 7 of these things. His average, he's got the best standard or finish. Average finish per standard round is 1.8. Webb's right behind it, 2.4. And Tomac hasn't started worse than 7th after lap 1 this year. And he's gotten 83 laps led, so.
Some solid stats.
Yeah, but like Jimmy said, if any rider's gonna do it this weekend, I'd put my money on Webb.
I think even more than Tomac. I think he almost had it.
Are you taking the risk, the leap this weekend? I mean, I don't know if it's a leap to pick Webb to win.
I know. I can't commit fully in that, even if I see qualifying and Tomac tops it, that I'm not going to change it there. But as of now, yes, I am putting Webb up top. And can we watch that last clip I sent you, Levi? Let's watch the last minute and a half of last year's race.
Oh, you just want to reminisce real quick.
do, because it just gets you so pumped for this year. One, watch after this 180, just how hard Tomac hits this section. But the point that I'm trying to get across here and why I'm going so... Like, watch, that is insanity. This track it just develops like no other.
Yeah, it's different.
Don't sweat it, Levi. We don't need our plates so much. Are they right here? I guess I'll grab them. But I do want to see where it actually happened, and it's coming up here where Webb got hung up behind McElrath, because I just think it's kind of ironic that Webb seems he puts himself in the positions that he needs to be, but to some extent he does get lucky when it comes to lappers. And this time last year,
well, hey, look, maybe it was like maybe last week was like his karma, or like because he got screwed here, and it's nothing against McElrath, but
no, it happens.
He won last weekend. You could very easily argue because of lappers, right?
Yeah, sure. But I guess the overall point I'm trying to get there is that I think Webb would have won. Oh, right there. Thank you so much.
We got Sid in the house helping us out here. And we got more. We
appreciate it. Lots of hands behind the scenes. Thank you so much,
that
guys.
shot right there, you just don't get anywhere else.
You don't.
The lights in the sky, it's just so cool.
So many reasons to love it. But that was the point I was trying to make, being all nostalgic, this, that. But I think Webb would have taken it last year if it wasn't for that. For that scenario.
Well, look,
anyway.
he hasn't finished off the box in 5 trips there. He's gained 10 points over Tomac in the last 3 rounds. So he's got the momentum, but still doesn't have the best average lap position in any of the laps, but is only 2 points behind. Question mark.
2 points behind.
Yeah. Crazy. Just goes to show you his racecraft, dude. He's just sneaky. He gets you at the very end.
You only need to lead one lap of a race. Strategy, dude. This is the Dungey strategy that you're just always
I'm going to podium
up there.
You to death.
Yep. Jeez.
What? It's true.
I love that.
That's what he does.
What did he say?
All right. Is Chase small or is his laptop big? Did someone say that in the comments?
Both. Can I just say? We didn't get a yes answer.
I mean, we did have to stagger.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, my laptop is bigger than Kobe's.
Flex. Okay. I don't know how to defend myself there.
I don't know.
Has anybody seen our cutouts there in the pits?
Yeah.
Does anything seem a little off?
That we're the same height? Because they had to have me move about 4 feet forward taking the picture?
Let's just say Curtis is pretty good at Photoshop. But,
thanks, Curtis.
Regardless, let's go through. Here's actually top contenders. I feel like people have their minds made up. We can go on and on and on. We can give you a million reasons as to why you should pick one guy over the other. But in the end, for the most part, guys are going with their heart for these top guys. I want to talk about some wild card. Can we just skip to some wild card real quick?
Yeah. Okay.
Because who do you got currently? We have our picks made. We came into the show having our picks made.
Dude, it's Savachi, bro.
Yes, sir.
Here's why you want Savachi.
That's where we do agree.
So look at his results. 10, 10, 10, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 8. Or I don't know. Like out of the 11 gate drops, he's finished 10th or 9th or like.
And 8th last weekend. We're technically getting a rider back. Yeah, Ferrandis.
Yeah,
we get that rider back. That puts him even more in that spot. I feel. And keep in mind, I know AC is out, but Savachi's been beating AC a lot, and he's still in this 10th place spot.
Not a good look for AC.
Not a good look for AC. We talked about that a little bit, but I think more than anything, like it's hard to go wrong with Savachi for wildcard this weekend.
Can we talk about that Photoshop picture up there?
You want to pull that back up?
Savachi just
blacked out.
Blacked out, dude.
Just goth boy.
6.
Hey, I work with the assets I'm given. That's all I can say. And sometimes there's some sponsors on there. I'm sure.
Hey,
Rick Ware Racing wouldn't be very appreciative of, but whatever.
Whatever.
So pick Savachi.
Yeah, but check this out, though. Justin Cooper,
okay.
His last 2 overalls are 10 and 9. He's only started better than 10th in 2 of the 6 main event gate drops. Average overall finish per round on the season is 8th best. So he's kind of in that mix. He's a good outdoor rider, though. You know what I mean?
He's an incredible outdoor rider.
The chat is skeptical if Savachi's actually racing.
Oh, really?
Okay, he's on the entry list.
Yeah.
So
come qualifying.
Look at qualifying.
Yeah, we're definitely going to
But
have to watch.
if Savachi's your number 1 guy, who's your go-to for second?
Probably Cooper. Chat says like it's Cooper.
Because I feel like if Savachi's out, Coop just gets 1 spot better, and he
doesn't go backwards.
He's been 10th or better. So I don't know, man. Nichols isn't looking very good. His average finish is 10.2, but he's been really not good the last few rounds. Only has 3 top 10s out of 11 gate drops.
Where's he been finishing the past
He's
couple
been
rounds?
like in the teens.
Oh, okay.
Like
so way
just,
far back.
Yeah, and dropping back. Not like starting back and kind of working forward. It's starting front, dropping back.
So these are probably your best 2 prospects, assuming Savachi races.
Craig
is also...
Justin Cooper's got to be there, right? Because it's a Florida race. They're right there.
Craig is also a very good pick, I think, too.
let's see. His average finish per gate drop, 9.45. Has been between 9th and 10th, 6 of 11. So over half the gate drops, he's between 9th and 10th.
And he's qualifying there, too. Very close. So assuming he's qualifying near that spot, Craig is also.
But he did have a couple
pick.
good rounds. So he's had a couple 7ths now. Like
some of these guys have just been popping off, though. That's what I was going to bring up. I think even Justin Hill, he surprised us last weekend. Justin Hill finished 10th. He went 10, 11, 10 in the 3 main events at last week's Triple Crown. Yeah. So he is also in this field right there, too. And, I mean, I had him back in like 13th, 14th. That's where I've been expecting him. But Hill's been popping off. Both the Hill brothers have been popping off.
Do you remember when Jay Hill just showed up on an RMZ 450 and just put it to the top dudes and almost – that was pretty cool. I mean, his average finish doesn't reflect how well he's been riding.
Yeah. You
got to look at his last few results.
Like 2-3 rounds. He's definitely should be considered for this wildcard spot.
I feel like if Savatgy doesn't line up, I feel like Craig is better than 10th at this point. And then I would say Justin Hill or like a Justin Cooper.
So if Savatgy's gone, it's
between Justin Hill and Cooper for me.
2 Justins. How many Justins?
I mean, maybe you want to put Colt Nichols in there, but he's just been so all over the place, not very consistent in one specific spot. 14 is in, Colt 45 for the wild card. I don't know, Leadhead. Results are in. Chase is small.
Hey.
From my own people.
Not arms.
From my own people.
Not calves.
Have you seen my calves?
I'll defend Chase
Have
there.
you seen my calves, folks? Gosh. All right. Well, I mean, at this point, wild card is like one of the most important things. Because the top 5 saw. I mean, like.
I guess we could have a little bit of debate or just bring up Roxon, Plessinger, Barsha, just that end of the top 5, our spoilers into the top 5.
Plessinger's proven himself, right? He's
gone
4-3, 4-6.
Yep.
Like, put him in your top 5.
I don't know if I
Barsha's not even in the discussion. He's gone 8-6, 8-6, 7. His last 3 standard round starts were 6, 21, and 13. He's just none of his numbers are putting him in the top 5. Kenny is just unpredictable.
Kenny is very unpredictable, and if I had to guess, this is just my prediction. Even if Roxon does get a good start, I just think he's going to fade at a track like this. This track is just brutal.
It could be.
But
So what did he get last week? He got 5th, right?
Yes.
So
overall.
Last 4 overall finishes.
He was riding great. He almost passed Tomac in one of his mains.
Yeah, no.
So
that's a shorter main. And I feel like Daytona is probably a track where you've got to have like a setting from last year to go off of. Don't know if he might have that.
That's really interesting.
Tomac doesn't really have that.
Although he did win championships on this bike, right? In outdoors, which is pretty.
He said, though, that it's not the same bike as what he was riding in 2016.
I thought I remembered hearing that.
All right.
His last 4, just so you have an idea, though, his last 4 Daytona finishes, he was 9th last year. We all know that was somewhat of a throwaway year for him. But then he was in the top 5 the 2 before that, and an 8th prior to that. But he's had some good results. So he definitely could be in the top 5, but he's not in my top 5.
He's just more likely to fade, I feel like, in a longer, really rough
1,000% agree.
Main event like that. Okay. Barsha's out. Plessinger's in there. So is Anderson. Anderson's probably going to be the most picked rider for probably, I'd say, 4th. I'd say him and AP are going to be the 2 top dudes. But
I could see AP just putting smackdown on JA, though.
Maybe, dude. It'd be
Think
sick.
about the mental. Like, he's just big do it for Dale guy. He's gonna hear the fans all the way from that Speedway Stadium.
Yeah.
And that can have a huge effect
on
him.
Riders just feel good at different tracks. Tomac feels good in Daytona. I'm sure AP is that way, and Webb's got to be in the same boat too.
This wild card poll is pretty interesting, pretty split.
What do we have here?
I didn't vote on it, so I haven't seen.
It's between Hill and Craig.
So I'm putting Savatgy. Wow.
After the stats we just gave, Savatgy's not the number 1 pick if he's racing?
It's almost evenly split. That was raw.
Jeez.
Who's going to be upset? I don't know.
I mean,
Chase needs to prove the calf dominance, huh? Can you roll a pant leg up? Are we about to do this?
No. Let's go. That's awkward.
That's awkward.
But okay, I don't know. Do we get a new winner this weekend? That'd be nice.
Yeah, let's hear that in the chat.
I would love to see AP or Anderson win one.
So you're saying new winner this season,
Just this
not
season.
Daytona winner.
I don't want to see the
Which
same
would be
3
both.
guys winning all the races. I want to see other guys mix it up. How many winners do we have so far? Tomac, Sexton, and Cooper.
Yep.
Or sorry, Webb.
Oh, well,
We have
Paul.
3. Paul. We have 3 winners so far. Yeah, Cody Wilkins says Colt 45, a good spot. I don't know. He's just been, look at his results. He just has not been that consistent. So, Hampshire, bro. Is he racing? He posted a sneak peek of a picture of Malcolm's bike.
Really?
I don't know. We'll have to look at the entry list.
Yeah, you had that entry list pulled up. See if you can dig that up again.
Okay.
That'd be interesting. Where would you put him? Say Hampshire rides, Mookie's ride.
No, 10th to 13th.
Yeah, not breaking the top 10. I mean, look at Craig is taking this long to even break the top 10
It's
or be
just
consistent
a
top
different animal.
Rage says Wilson. What about Wilson? And honestly, that is a good point. Wilson very well could find himself there too. I don't know. Wilson's almost in that same boat as Kenny for me, where at a track like this, where it's so demanding and super rough, I feel like towards the end, with whatever Wilson's been battling, arm pump or bike settings, he's been fading consistently.
Yeah, if you get arm pump, good luck at Daytona.
Yeah, so I don't see him in the top 10 if I'm being honest.
I am not seeing RJ on the entry list for this weekend. Yeah, not seeing
let's see. He's been racing. This is his.
He's on 250 West.
Oh, okay.
So he'd be able to line. He could line up if he wanted to, but I'm not seeing him on the entry list, so I don't count on it.
Maybe we'll get surprised with qualifying. Lots of questions that,
Hunter,
unfortunately, we just don't have the answers to until come qualifying. We're doing our best to find out what we can.
Okay, interesting.
Last year he was 10th. This Nate says. So you're referring to Wilson. Same track.
Oh,
but I don't think last year Wilson was the same as this year Wilson.
look at qualifying. If he's up there somewhere in the top 10 and you're feeling good about it, go
All
for it.
power to you, Nate.
Okay.
All caps. He's screaming at us.
Easy. Okay. I mean, any other talking points we need to go over here? I mean, Tomac's already broken the record for most Daytona wins, so there's nothing really exciting there to talk about.
And
But what a boss, dude. 6 out of 7.
even if he does hand it over, like he can't be bad. There has to come a time where
There
he
are
hands
2 records in Supercross that will never be broken. Jeremy McGrath's all-time win record, 72 wins, and Eli Tomac's
Daytona
6
streak.
Daytona wins. Or maybe 7.
It could be 7.
I think those are the only
That's
2
a very good
records
point.
we will ever not see broken in our lifetime, simply because if nobody else has won one that is currently racing, it ain't going to happen anytime soon.
Not for a long
Not
time.
for a very long time.
Yeah, I agree. Totally.
None of these guys are going to race another 6 years to even tie Tomac.
Please answer my question in the chat. Well, I'm not watching why I restarted the video. What is the password to your group on the site? I don't think our group
The
have a
RMFantasy
password.
SXperts group doesn't have a password.
Shouldn't have a password. So you're joining the wrong group, I believe. I will type the name. It's just RMFantasy SXperts, no spaces.
I said anyone currently racing, 450 class. Jet, hey, we'll see. But to win 6 out of 7 Daytonas is in the 450 class is like unreal.
Well, think about all of the like we just saw with Webb, and like you brought up earlier with Webb pushing Roxon off. These are 2 separate years I'm referring to. Tomac's had a lot of things line up for him to make this happen, even with being the fastest guy.
I agree, but he just kind of makes it happen.
Yeah.
But when Brayton won, Tomac went down. Tomac almost beat him for that overall or for that win at Daytona.
He just has never gotten beat there.
He came from dead last to second place and almost won it. So he went beast mode.
But yeah, I don't know if you guys are understanding how crazy that is. 6 years.
What's more impressive, 72 wins in the McGrath era when there wasn't as much, I would say,
Daytona,
arguably not as much.
Tomac for sure.
Or Tomac's record.
Yeah.
I'm
not discrediting McGrath, but I'm in that same boat as you where I'm just like the competition was nowhere near where it is now. So
yeah. It doesn't
set
take anything
records
from Jeremy.
No, the sport was what it was. It's forever evolving. I'm glad to see it get to where it is now. And
if it was any other venue, like say it was Arlington and he's won 6 out of 7, I don't think anybody really cares that much. But because it's Daytona and it's one of the bucket list races, that's what makes it unique, and I think it's one of the gnarliest records. I agree. I don't know.
KS River Ranger says RJ announced he's racing on his socials.
Okay, well, here you go. Look at his qualifying, see what you might want to do. He could be a wild card spoiler. I would put him ahead of Wilson. Let's put it that way.
Same. I
100%.
would put him.
Okay.
Tomac, does he feel pressure he has to win Daytona? Of course he does.
Does he?
Feel pressure? Like
he knows he's the favorite.
Pressure from where? Like himself or the team?
Maybe
if it's from well, now that I get thinking about it, I don't know.
Hey, honestly, I think with the title hunt right now between him, Webb, and Sexton, I honestly think all three of these guys are just thinking, get on the box. Don't throw a race away. Take the win when it's given. Get on the box.
He's certainly not going to do anything extraordinary to get the win. We've seen him like last weekend after he went down. He's not going to push beyond his boundaries, that's for sure. But, I mean, if he's leading the race, I'm sure that's in his mind. If not to throw it away, it always is.
Yeah,
but,
he's not. He ain't going to be around to.
But he's not going to. He's not going to do. He's not going to do what he did that year with Brayton and just come from last to...
No, not with these dudes right now. Not with how good they're all riding. All right. Lock him in, Kobe.
Okay.
What are your picks right now?
You're holding my number one guy currently.
Sorry. I got rid of my fantasy tab.
May I have
Do you need those?
contenders.
Oh, we got the wrong Tomac plate. Forgive us, Eli.
Should be
Is that bad juju?
Should be in here. So I got Webb. I got Tomac.
So
I'm sticking
right
with
now you're doing
Sexton
Webb.
in third. Right now I'm doing Webb. And I will say this. Unless Tomac tops qualifying, I will leave Webb. Okay. That's the only condition that I move it.
Okay.
Anderson and AP somewhere. That is my top five.
I need to change my...
Savacci.
I got to change my wild card right now just in case I forget to later on.
Because...
just in case Savacci doesn't line up.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. I'm going to leave him and watch qualifying.
Okay, I'll do the same. Okay, all right, here I go. You ready for mine?
I'm ready for yours.
Okay, I have Tomac because, look, even last week, he didn't win the overall because he had that crash, but he basically hole-shotted 2 out of the 3 mains. Like, his starts have been unreal. But then I've got Webb, Sexton, Anderson, Plessinger. So we switched first and second, and I got Savacci too.
It's interesting you bring that up, starts, and Christian would probably castrate me if I didn't show this graphic. Let's get that head-to-head. Between these two, we do have some stats, and starts is a big one. Yeah. Average start per main event, gape drop. Yeah, Tomac has the edge there.
Dude, by 2 spots.
Yep.
That's after lap 1, right? That's not over the whole shot line. That's after lap 1.
But after that...
Isn't it crazy?
It does just bounce back and forth.
Yeah, 60 laps led to 10.
Yep.
Qualifying for Tomac's a little better.
The upper hand is the yellow highlighted ones, by the way. So
I'm gonna go with start. I'm gonna go with Tomac loving Daytona, winning there so much. Really, really good starts. You just feel like how do you bet against that?
Well, now I'm second guessing myself. I'm leaving it though.
Okay,
I'm leaving it. Well, thank you everybody for
good show.
Whose picks are better?
We do have some memes as well.
We got some great ones. We can't skip over that.
We got caught up.
We got to look at some of these because
meme it up right now because we're going to send some of these race day live.
Yes, we are. This one is amazing. Oh, I love it. It was only a matter of time.
It's a thing.
It was only a matter of time.
Oh gosh.
Sean, I swear Sean 625 is consistently giving this smash that like button, and you are absolutely right. If you guys are enjoying this show as half as much as Chase and I are, we appreciate every single one of you. Smash that like button. It's too much fun. When Jet is in the announcer's booth, did you see this one?
Yes.
Oh.
See that?
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Why'd they Photoshop my arm in there? What else we got? Very good. Hey, someone's good at Photoshop.
Wow.
Someone is good at Photoshop.
They're decent Photoshop.
Well, I mean, Photoshop was trying to say, what do you want me to put behind these guys? More dirt? All right.
Me making picks Monday. Yep.
Yeah, that's why.
Relatable.
Isn't that crazy, though? You would think that, I don't know. There's a lot of good ones in there. And we're going to send some over to Race Day Live. So, again,
These are all accumulating, too. It seems like, every few weeks we're collecting our favorite, top 4 overall.
Do we have the Conor McGregor one?
Wasn't that from last week?
From J Mart winning one of the Triple Crowns?
I don't know if I don't know which one you're referring to.
Oh gosh, there's a meme on there. Sorry we didn't show, but it's my gosh,
good.
I'll show it to you afterwards. Go to the Discord. The link to that is in the description. All the memes are posted on there, and Yeah, we're doing the ticket giveaway for, what is it, Indianapolis next weekend?
On the last Monday show.
So
go comment on that one.
Yeah, check to see if you were.
Hey, Chase, how's your little Top Gun doing? We need a little update for little Maverick.
Mavi is crushing it. Last night he slept 3 hours straight.
Whoa,
that was the longest he slept.
Guy.
Yeah, he's good. He's
Was there a technique change there?
I don't know.
It's just got lucky.
Mom, he just got lots of milk and just got milk drunk, dude. That's how it goes. Well, look, everybody,
take notes.
Thank you so much for tuning in live. Big also shout out to Jimmy Decotis for calling in. And tell us what your picks are after the show. Comment them down below. Head over to the Discord. Shout out again, Dr. JB, for giving the stats. And I don't know, man. I'm going to be in Mesquite this weekend, racing my dirt bike, announcing the races. You're going to be at a race,
setting up for
a race. So we'll be watching the races on site somewhere, but it's going to be a blast, dude.
Daytona never fails. Never lets us down. So very, very pumped.
Yeah.
Benetril, says Krista.
We're not there yet. Yeah. He's too young.
Let's go racing. That's
for
right,
Quincy,
Jason.
the 3-year-old.
The 3-year-old. She can handle it.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
All right, everybody. We love you. We appreciate you. And we'll see you on Monday.
Later.